Looking to create a stunning responsive landing page for a VPN service? You are on the right spot. Using Tailwind CSS version 4 and AOS, we will make this project visually engaging and smooth. Plus, we will add swiper.js for interactive slides and Google Fonts for a polished look. If you are a beginner, then this project is absolutely for you. If you are learning latest Tailwind version 4, then obviously you can check this tutorial because I will share my tips and tricks here. Okay, so ready to building something awesome? Let's get started. At first, let me introduce our website. So if I refresh, you can see at the top we will have a navbar, and if I refresh it, you can see awesome animation is applying here. Then this is the hero section or banner section. Then if you scroll here, we will have some starts. Then here, look, we will have also animation here. So look, the animation is working perfectly. Then we will have pricing plan. Look, this is our pricing plan. Okay, next we will have network section. Here you can see map. We will have company's logo here. Then we will have most interesting thing, we will have the testimonial here. If you just click here, look, the swiper is working perfectly. If you click the back, then it's just redirecting to the back. Then look, it's super easy and super simple, but we are going to do this type of stuff in our website, in our HTML website. Okay, so then we'll have a subscribe section, and finally we'll have a footer, and this website is completely responsive. If I just want to show you, let me inspect. And if you see on the small device, you will see our website is looking pretty cool. Okay, so it's very simple and pretty cool. And if you just check the animation, look, if I just refresh it, look, the animation is also working on small devices. Okay, so your animation is pretty cool here also on small devices, so the user will get a better experience when just visiting this website. Look, our swiper is also responsive here, and everything is clean and cool. After the introduction, we will get started our project. So for doing this, I will go to a folder directory. You can go any folder directory on your PC, and at first you will have to create a folder. So here you can just rename this folder. For example, it's a Vercel VPN, so I just name it something like this, Vercel VPN projects. Okay, so next what you will have to, after creating these projects, you will open your Visual Studio Code and simply drag this folder to open it on your code editor. Okay, so right now our files and folder is empty. We're going to just use Tailwind CSS in our project, so that's why we will open our browser and then simply search Tailwind CSS. Then we will find tailwindcss.com, the official website of Tailwind CSS. From here we'll have to click get started. Okay, so in this project actually we are going to use Tailwind CLI. This is the production ready process to install Tailwind CSS on your HTML project, so that's why we will follow this approach. If you are just working with CDN, you can have options to do that. You will have a lightweight CDN link here, you can just use that. But for production ready application, Tailwind CLI tool for creating our projects, because it's actually for production grade application when you are working with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so at first it says you will have to install Tailwind CSS, but before that let me go back to the Visual Studio Code. Here we'll have to initialize a package.json file, so that's why here we will simply type npm init-y, and if I press enter, it will create a package.json file. So let me press enter. You can see a package.json file is created by doing the command. Okay, so here you will have some of the project information. You will have your project name, version. Then here if you have any keywords, you can keep it here. For example, this is actually VPN, so we can just define VPN projects, something like this. Or if you are the author of this website, so you can just write your name here. For example, I am just defining my name, Mamun. Here you can add a description. So this is a Tailwind CSS version 4 projects. Okay, I just rename it something like this. Okay, so you can just do all of this stuff here, but next actually we will install Tailwind CSS on our project, so that's why we'll have to copy this command and simply back to Visual Studio Code. Open your terminal again. Look here, when you just hover at the bottom line, you will see a border here. If you have to drag it, then your terminal will open. Here you will have to simply press Ctrl V to paste the command. We are going to install Tailwind CSS and Tailwind CSS CLI here. So let me press enter. After doing this, actually a package-log.json file will be created here, and obviously we will have node modules folder, because this script actually add some dependencies and packages to run our projects. Okay, so after doing that, what the next, actually we will have to create a src folder, then input.css folder, and then we'll have to import this line to your input.css file. Okay, so let's do that. We will have a src folder. We're following actually Tailwind CSS documentation to create this project, because here on this project I will obviously focus on Tailwind CSS. Okay, so let me copy this line, and then here inside this src folder we will have a input.css file, and we'll paste import Tailwind CSS here. Okay, so after doing that, what next? Go back to the documentation. Here it's just say you will have to start Tailwind CLI build process. So for doing this, you will have this command. Let me copy this, and now we'll back to here. We'll simply keep this command in package.json file. Here we'll write a script. For example, our script could be start, and here we can simply paste our script. Okay, so we're just going to paste our script. Now if we just command npm run start, then it will actually execute this. So what is actually saying, it will just calling the Tailwind CLI, then says take the input.css file as input and just generate the output.css file inside this src folder. Okay, so let's see if it's working or not. So we'll open the terminal. Let me clear it. So if you want to clear your terminal, you can have the command clear, and if you press enter, look, the terminal is clear now. And here we'll have to command npm run, then the script you've written here. So it's actually start. So let me type start, and if you press enter, look, Tailwind CLI is running and a output.css file is created. And here if you go to the output.css file, all the Tailwind CSS utility classes are written here for you. Okay, so next thing, what you will have to go, you will have to go to the website, and it says you will have to start with a HTML file and link to your output.css file. So let's do this. Here we'll have a index.html file, then we'll need a HTML template. So that's why press shift exclamatory sign, and here let me change the title. That is actually less VPN project using Tailwind CSS. Okay, Tailwind CSS. And here what we'll have to do, after this title we'll have to link the CSS file. So Tailwind CSS link, we just comment something like this, and then link our output.css file. So that's why link, then we will choose CSS, and here we need to change the path. The path will be obviously ./output.css, and here now we can simply just copy this hrun for testing purpose and keep it inside this body. Now we will need to install a plugin that is actually live server. Let me check. We'll simply search live server. Okay, so then you will find this type of plugin. You will have to install it, and after installing it, what you will see here on the bottom right corner, you will see go live options. If you now click here, your website will open on your default browser. Look, this is your website right now. We'll have a hello world from actually here. Okay, so if you want to write Tailwind CSS, you can simply write it here. It's actually utility fast CSS approach, so that's why you don't need to maintain another CSS file for doing that. Okay, so let's try to change the text color. So that's why I am applying text, then we'll apply red color. So here you will see I have some suggestion where I'm getting this type of suggestion. So I have used an extension that is actually Tailwind CSS intelligence. So this is actually official extension. You will have to install by clicking here. So right now it's installed on my machine, so that's why it's saying disabled. But if you are just checking this first time, you will have install button here. Okay, just click the install button and it will be added to your projects, and you can simply get suggestion by this way. If you not get suggestion, press Ctrl and space bar to get suggestion, and you can see it's now suggesting. If I just change it to text rate 500 and go back to your website, look, it's applying. That means our project setup is complete, and in the next session actually we're just follow this Figma design and start our website designing. Okay, so from the previous video I have said that I will follow a Figma file to design this project. So for doing this, where you will get this Figma file, so I will provide the link in the descriptions. Then actually I have a Git repository for just providing you all the assets and designs file you need to work with this project. So here you can see Vercel's VPN Tailwind CSS project. This is the target projects repository, and here what you will have to do, you will have to click this code section and download this zip or just simply clone it. So after downloading it, you will have to extract this file. So let me go to the download folder, and I just downloaded this project and extract it. After extracting it, you can receive something like this folder structure. Inside this src folder you will have images that I used in this project. Then we will have here a Figma file, Vercel-landing page.fig. that means it's a Figma file. You will go to the figma.com, and then you will have to simply drag this file and drop it here to open the projects. And after doing that, you will receive this type of file, obviously, so you don't have to worry about. You can simply just adjust your zoom here, and you can see your file is opened here. By doing this, actually you will have your own version of file. You can adjust this design if you need. Okay, so now let's get started with the first section. Here we'll have a navbar sections, and in this video we're going to design this navbar section. So how we will go for it? So for designing this navbar section, we will go back to the projects, and here you can see we'll have a h1, and this h1 is just showing it here. Look, okay, so this is our project running, and you can see a simple text is showing it from here. Okay, so then we don't need this h1. Actually we will start our project. So that's why here at first we're going to design our head section. So how you will do, let me add a comment at the beginning. Here we'll have a head section, so header section, and if you check your design file, here you can see there are some color guidance. You will have some fonts that is actually rubric, and here it's also rubric fonts. Then we'll have some colors utility. Okay, so how to customize these on Tailwind CSS? So at first let's start it with colors. So here we'll have three types of color. You can see this is a reddish color, then a light red color, and white color. So as Tailwind CSS provide the white color, we don't need this. We can just use this colors schema. Okay, so how you define your color? So for doing this, actually you will go to input.css file, and here we can simply define theme, and inside this theme we can simply define dash color, and here we can just define our primary color. That would be something like this color. So by doing this, actually we can customize Tailwind CSS utility classes. Okay, so here we'll have to paste this. Okay, obviously need a hash here. So this is our primary color, and let me define the secondary color. So color, secondary color, and here our secondary color will be something like this. Okay, then let me paste the color value here. So I'm sorry, maybe the color is not copied properly. Okay, it's actually 30%. Let me extract it here. Let me choose this type of RGBA color for this value. Actually we can just define by this doing way. Okay, so after then what you will have to do, look, we'll have to work with the font color. Here the font color is something like this. It's our actually text primary color. So here we can simply define dash color. So we can say primary text, and we can just paste this color value here. Okay, we'll obviously have to add a hash sign. okay, as it's a hexadecimal color. Then for actually this color, let me check it. It's actually so heading color or something like this. So that's why we can just simply say color heading text. We can just simply define this way. We'll have a hash. Let me paste the colors, and here it's okay. We'll have all of this color listed here. Now we can use it from actually h1. For example, let me test a little bit here. Let me define hello, and for example we're going to use our primary color. So this is our primary color. We can simply say text primary, and you can see this color is applying here. And if you go back to your website, look, this is applying. Okay, so if you define this heading color, so how is it? Okay, so here after this text we can simply say heading text color. Okay, heading text, and here you can see it's applying. So by doing this way, we can simply customize our theme color by inside actually at the red theme. Okay, so what about the fonts? So for doing this, actually let me go to Google Fonts. So we'll search Google Fonts, and then we will have to go to Google Fonts. Here we'll simply search Rubik. Okay, the Rubik font is used on our website, so that's why we'll search this. We'll click this get font, then we will have to click this get embedded code. Here you will have two options. Either you can just choose the link to connect it on your head section, or you can choose the import to connect it on input.css file. So let me copy it. We will go here and simply paste it at the top. Here we will paste it, and then on here actually we can just simply define dash font, and we can just define this is our primary font, and say here we'll have to keep this on. So we'll simply copy this and now paste it here. So if you do this, that means your font primary is here. If you want to test it, let me check it. So here we'll type font then primary, and you can see if you hover, it's suggesting it's actually Rubik serif font. Okay, that you defined it here. And if you check your website right now, this font is applied. If you just inspect it, and simply just click this icon, and if you just hover here, look, the font is applied. This is actually font 16 pixel Rubik serif font. Okay, so I followed it from this. Okay, so after doing this, let me close it. Everything is properly organized. Now we can start our designing, because before we get started the designing, we will have to follow the appropriate way to design the same website. Okay, same projects. Okay, so for doing this, let's designing the header section. And for doing this, here actually back to the HTML file, we remove these sections, and we can simply take a semantic tag that is actually header, and inside this header we will have a nav bar. Okay, so what you will include in this nav section? In this nav section, at first you will have a logo. Okay, so you will have a logo. That logo is here. Look, this logo is here. So from where you will get this icon and all of this stuff. Look, I already said that you will have this file. You will have to download it, and after doing that, inside this folder you will go to src. Then you will find a images folder. You will have to simply drag this image folder and keep it inside src folder. Look, keep it inside src folder. If you do that, all the image you need is here. You will have Amazon image, you will have banner, so you will have logo, and all of the image you need is now on your projects, and you can use it. So this is our banner image. So we will simply drag this image folder and keep it on inside this src. So right now here, so we'll have to design the logo. So that's why we will have to keep a div. Then we will just take a image. Here we'll have to define the image path. Look, inside this image we'll have logo. So the logo is here. So we'll simply define /, then we will go inside image folder. Then we will choose our image.png. So here we can just define the wall tag that is actually logo. And now if you back to your website, you can see your image is here. Okay, so next what you will have to do, we need to add some text. Let me keep it here. We'll have some text. Let me copy this text. Okay, and then we'll back here, and after this image here we can simply take a span tag and paste it here. So we need to add some text color here. Let me define, so class, here our text color will be our primary color, something like this. And obviously in this div we'll have some classes, so we'll add text to Excel, then we will define font will be bold, and then we will have it will be flexed item center, where we are using Tailwind CSS utility class to make it flexed, and we'll obviously keep it on center position, and then we'll have some gap, that is why gap 2. Okay, so if you now check your website, you can see something like this. Okay, fine. After doing that, here on this image actually we can just apply a little bit CSS, that is actually h8, that means height 8. Okay, so now this block is okay. Then after doing that, what you will have to do here, look, we'll have some navigational item, we will have some navigational item about features, pricing, testimonials, help. Okay, so for doing that, here you can add a comment, so that is actually menu items, and for this menu items we will take a URL tag, then inside this URL tag we'll have li tag, and inside this li tag we'll have anchor. Okay, so at first here we can just define this will be home, and we can just define as it's actually about, instead of home it's actually about, so let me rename it as about. Okay, so here we'll have to add some colors, so that's why class here will define text color, that will be gray 600 or something like this, and then on hover actually we can just define text will be our primary color. Okay, when we just hover. Okay, the first items is here. Right now we can check this is about, and then we can simply copy this for 4 times. Okay, let me press shift alt and down arrow to copy it for 3 or 4 times, and now let me customize it. So here the second one is actually for features, we will just rename it features, and here that would be features. Okay, let me keep it small. Okay, next thing is that we need to keep the pricing, we'll keep it, copy it and paste it here. We'll have to customize this, so this will be pricing, we'll have to keep it a small letter. Next we'll have testimonial sections, so let me copy it, keep this testimonial here, and obviously we will keep it here. And the lastly we'll have to copy it again, so shift alt down arrow, and here that is actually for help. Okay, let me copy it and keep it help here, and here we'll rename it, for example it's actually subscribe. Okay, subscribe, CRI. So why we're just defining all of these stuff here? Look, whenever you just examine the final results, if you click about, it will redirect to the banner section. If you click features, look, features is loading. If you click pricing, then price section will be appear. If you just click testimonial, then testimonial section will be redirect. If you click help, then the subscribe option will be appears. And if I click the features again, look, our website is scrolling. So to implementing navigation inside a landing page, you will have to use this way. You will have to use a hash sign at the anchor and then define a unique ID. So by doing this way, actually you can navigate in between a single page. Okay, so that's why I am just defining this. Now here actually on this UL we'll have some classes that is actually will have hidden, then we can just define on medium devices it will be flex, and finally we'll define a space XH. Okay, to take some margin left and margin right. Okay, so that is something like this, and if you now see, it's looking perfectly. But next actually we'll take these 2 buttons. So for doing this, here let me close this, and after doing that we'll have auth buttons. Okay, so auth means actually authentication buttons, and here what you will have to do, you will have to take a div, and inside this div you will take a button. The button will be for actually sign in. Okay, sign in button. Then here we'll add some styling. Let me add classes. Here the classes will be text gray actually 600 or something like that. Then we will apply hover, that would be text primary color, and then we will have another one. So let me take another button. The button will be actually sign up, and here we'll have to apply some classes that is actually so busy red or we can just define busy primary color here. So busy primary color, then we will have text white color. We can just define when hover, we can just add a little bit darker red, so that's why we can just simply define busy red 600 here. And next we'll just define some padding px4, py2 will make it rounded full so that it will be more appealing, so rounded full. Okay, next thing, it's okay. Now let's check if it's working or not on our project. Look, it's fine. Okay, so you can just define cursor pointer, see your cursor pointer, so pointer. Okay, now you can see it's hovering. Okay, but the design is not the goal. Here you can see we'll have all of this on these larger devices, we'll have on the left so our logo, on the middle will have navigation, and on the last will have this. Okay, so how to fix these issues? Okay, but before that, let me add classes here. Here we'll define a space x4 for now, and we'll make it by default hidden, and we'll just appear it on actually a small device, so that would be block or something like this block. Okay, so now I think it's okay, it will just look better. We can just make it flexed, so that would be great. If I refresh, you can see nothing changes, but now we'll apply some css to the nav section. Here on this nav we'll have a max width. Look, our website has a max width. Look, if I just click here, you can see our website has a max width that is actually 1440. Okay, so that's why how to define max width here. Let me define here, we'll just define max w, and we can just add this custom width here, that is actually max w. And then for the next, in the next section here we'll have to apply container, then we'll have mx auto, then we'll apply some padding px4, then we'll have py4, then we'll have flex item center, and obviously we will use justify between to move it side by side. And right now if you check it, look, your website is looking something like this. Okay, but here we need to be more improved on this section, so let's back on these sections. Here why it's not working, so if I remove this, it will obviously work. Let me just check it if it's perfect. So why when we applying this it's not working on the small devices? Here we can simply say by default hidden, and on the sm we can just simply say inline flex or something like this, inline flex. Okay, now okay, perfect right now. And if you check it on small devices and go there, look, your website is by default responsive. Look, your website is by default responsive. Okay, I hope you understand how your website is looking on small devices. Okay, so next thing what we can do, okay, here we can just do a little improvement. We can keep it inside a link, or let me just define, we just have an anchor. Okay, sorry, we just don't do it here. Let me just backspace. We can keep it in a anchor text, so let me take it. We'll have forward slash here, and inside this we can simply keep it here. So right now if I just click, it will redirect to this page, but we will have a little issues here, so we'll obviously can fix it with a few seconds, but right now I think it's okay. So the path is actually this, because we'll have a src folder, and then we'll have inside this src folder we'll have index.css file. Okay, so right now keep it by this way, it will be fixed soon. Next, what the thing, after actually completing header section, we'll have to move to the next section. We'll just design this banner section. We'll have this type of designing here. We'll have on the left some text, on the right some image. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so for making this hero section, so let's back to the Visual Studio Code. After this heading we'll add a comment that is actually hero section. We can just add this type of comments. Then here actually we'll take a semantic tag, that is actually section tag, and here what you will have to do inside this section, we can simply take two div. Okay, so the first div will contain the text, so that's why here we can just add a comment. So left content, and then we'll have another div that is actually, so let me add comment. So right content, just right content. Okay, so here let me add a div, and right now inside this left div we'll add the text. Okay, so here you can see we'll have a text. Let me copy this by pressing Ctrl C, and here we'll have a h on and simply paste it here. We need to design this, so that's why class here will apply on the large devices with apply text size will be 6 pixel. Then we'll apply on medium devices, we'll have text 5 pixel. Okay, that means we're using responsive text here. Then by default the text will be 4 pixel. Okay, next what we will do, we'll define font bold. Then we will define text color. The text color will be heading primary text. Okay, heading text. Then we'll apply some leading. Okay, so leading, that means actually line height. Here we'll apply leading tight or something like this. Where is actually tight? So this is right, and after then the thing, I think it's okay. Let's check if it's working or not. So we'll go to here, and right now look it's okay, but we need to just keep it on same size. So that's why here on this section here we'll have to define max width. So our max width will be custom, that is actually 1440 pixel, and here we'll have to define, this is actually container. Then we'll have mx auto. I think it's okay for now. We can add some padding. px4 will have some padding y, that would be ty28. Now we can just define some flex. Here we'll have by default flex call. On medium devices flex will be row. Okay, then we can just define item center. Finally we'll apply some gap here, that is actually gap 12. Okay, so now if you just check it, it's something like this. Okay, but we need it on the half of the width, so that's why inside this div we can just simply say it will be on medium devices the width will be half. So w-1/2, that means half, 50%. Then we'll define some margin bottom MB8. Then we'll have on medium devices margin bottom will be 0, and then we'll define space y, so that is actually 8, space y 8. Okay, so right now if you check your website, it's now on second line. Okay, I hope you can see this is working, but look, it's actually after the b will have the next line, but in our here we don't have this. Okay, we'll have text. So how to fix it? So for doing this, after these actually, after this, let me just press enter. Here actually we need a break, so we'll take a br tag, and here we'll define class that would be on large devices it will be blocked, otherwise by default it will be hidden. So now I think our problem is solved. You can see our text is here. Next we need the paragraph, so let me copy this, and here we can simply define a p, and we'll simply paste it here. We'll define some text color here, so let me define here our text color will be, let me check it on input.css. Our text color will be primary text. Okay, so let me apply. So primary text, here we'll have text size, that is actually lg size. Then we'll have leading relaxed, so where is relaxed, so reading relaxed. Then we'll have a max w excel size. Now if you check your website, you can see it's perfectly showing. Then what next? Actually next you will have need a button, something like this. So this is actually a get started button. Let me copy this text, and here after this paragraph we will have a button, and this button is actually get started. And let me design this button. So for doing this, here we'll have to define busy primary color here, then we'll have text white color, then we'll have px12 py here would be 4 for now, then we'll have rounded lg, so rounded lg, then we'll define on hover, actually we'll have busy red 600 or something like that, a darkish color. Then we'll have shadow lg, shadow lg will have on hover, we'll add some extra shadow, that is shadow xl. So let me define shadow xl, and finally we'll add some transition so that it will get you a smooth experience. We'll have some duration, that is 300. We'll have text size, that is actually text lg, and font will be medium. Okay, so I hope the design is okay. Let's check it, and you will have something like this. Okay, you can just define a cursor pointer here, so cursor pointer. Now I think your design is perfect. Okay, so next what you will need, you need the image, so that's why you will have to download this image. But as I just provide you the assets folder, so you can just see your image is here. You will have a hero image here. Let me check it. Okay, it's actually renamed at banner. Okay, so that's why inside this div we will simply take a img tag and simply define ./images/banner, and you will get the banner. And let me add banner image here, and we can add some css, that is actually class. We will define w full. Okay, w full, and here on this div we'll have to make sure that it's actually on medium devices width will be 50%. Then here we'll simply keep it by this way. Now if you check your website, your banner section is pretty okay, and I think we don't have to do anything here, it's perfectly okay. And now if you just go to a small devices, look, our website is looking very clean and very just pretty. Okay, so by doing this way we can just complete our hero section. Next what we'll have to do, we'll have to make this section. This is actually a start section, a static section. Here how many users is on our website, the locations covered, and the server locations. Okay, so that's why we'll make this on the next video. Okay, so for the start sections, let's back to the Visual Studio Code and we'll close this hero section. Here we can simply take another section, that is actually statics, this takes section. Okay, so here what you will have to do, we'll have a section again, and then we'll have some common styling. Look, all of this styling is very common. So what you can do here, we can simply copy this, and then we go back to the input.css, and here we can just take a utility class. For example, what we can do, we can simply say our designing will be at the rate, we can just define apply, or we can just define a layer, and inside this we can simply define so section container, and then we can here define all of these styling by using apply. Okay, so we'll apply css classes here. So now if you just define this, your design will be fixed by default. Let me define class here, and now we'll have this sections container. And now if you just define this is actually section, let me check if it's working or not. So if you go there, you can see it's actually perfectly applying. We can reduce a little bit, so here we'll have a large padding. We can just reduce it to actually maybe we can have 20. So I think it's okay for now. Okay, so I think it's fine, perfect. We'll have a minimal padding to the top and bottom. Okay, or you can just define it 16 if you need. I think 16 or 20 is okay. So perfect. So after doing this, here we'll have do this type of designing. So that's why let me back to this section. Here we'll have simply define, we'll have a div. Inside this div actually we'll have another div. Now here we'll have user starts, and we'll have another stars that is actually for a location starts. Then we will have server starts. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Here we will apply some classes. The classes will be, by default we'll apply bz white color. Then we'll have rounded lg. Rounded xl is fine. Okay, xl. Then we'll have some shadow lg size, and then we'll apply some padding p8. And after doing this, inside this div we'll keep some css that is actually will define, that will be flex, by default flex call. Then we'll have medium devices flex row. So then what you will have to do, you will have justify around. Then we'll have item center. Finally we'll have divided dvi dey. Okay, and then on medium devices we'll have to say the divided y divide y equal 0. And finally on medium devices we'll have divide x dvi dx. Then finally we will define divide color. Divide color will be gray 200 or something like that. So now if you go here and see, this is okay, but the divided is not working until you add your starts here. So this is actually user starts, users, and this is actually for, let me take a div, this is actually for location, and now this is for actually div server. Okay, div server. Now you can see your divided is here. Look, your divided is working here, and we'll have to make something like this. Okay, so for doing this, let's start with the users section. Here we'll have some classes that is actually will apply flex item centers. Then we'll have gap of 6. Then we'll define px12, then py6. Then on medium devices py0. Okay, so inside these users actually you can see what you will have to include. Inside these users you will have a icons, then some text. Okay, so you will get this icon on the assets folder or on the image folder, so don't have to worry about it. Inside it will have a div, and inside this div will have an image. Here the image will be /images folder. Then we can simply get the user. Okay, user image, and let me add user image here. Then we'll have another div, we'll have another div containing AH3, that is actually for the start, so 90 plus. And here we'll have a text that is actually users. Okay, users. Now let's design this H3, though that would be text 3xl. Then we'll have font bold. Then we'll have text gray 900 or something like that. Then for the paragraph actually we'll have to define classes, and it will be text, our primary text. Okay, primary text color. So I hope it's okay right now. And if I go there, I think you see something like this, but we need to design this icon section, so that's why we'll apply some classes to this div. And here we'll define p5. Then we'll have bz red. We can just define bz secondary color, so something like this. Let me check it. So it's a little bit okay. We can just add some opacity, for example 65%, and now I think it's perfect. We can apply rounded for now, rounded full. Okay, so now I think you can see it's perfect, and we can just copy this whole thing for the others. So let me copy it, go to the location section. Here we can simply paste it, and on the server section we can simply paste it. Now we'll have to copy these also. We'll have to copy this section and go to paste it on locations and also paste it on here. So after doing this, I just change this start. So for example, the second one is actually for, so keep me that change the image first to the second one is for actually location. Let me search location, and here the starts changes will be 30 plus. So let me define the start is 30 plus, and that would be locations. Okay, then here we will have storage image. So let me define dot images forward slash storage. Okay, and finally we can just define the location. The storage location is 50 plus servers. So let me define that is actually 50 plus servers. Okay, SERVERS servers. So right now you can see our section is perfect, and if you inspect it, look on the small devices, your application is perfectly showing, but the icon is not showing. So the icon is not visible. So how to fix this? Okay, to fix this, actually here we will simply add some classes that is actually size with our size is okay. So you can either add some size here that is actually h8, and we'll have to copy this and keep it on each image. Okay, perfect. Now I think if I refresh, if I just check it, the others image is not showing. Let me fix it a little bit. On the larger size it's working, but on the small devices it's not working. So why? Let me fix it. Okay, the easiest solution is that you can simply define shrink 0 to the each section so that it not shrinked properly. Okay, so we can simply keep shrink 0 to the div of the image, and now I think your problem will be solved. Look, your problem is perfectly solved on small devices by doing this, and see everything is perfect. Okay, so after these sections we'll have to move to the Figma design, and we'll have to design this feature section. We'll have the image on the left side and the text on the right side by doing this way. Okay, so let's move to the next section. So for this feature section, what you will have to do, let's back to the Visual Studio Code and let's close this static section, and then we'll have to write a comments that is actually feature VATURS feature section. Here we'll have to take a section tag, and then we'll have to define some CSS here that is actually, we can use our common CSS that is actually section container to this section. And then look, this is somehow some background color, so we'll apply a little bit. Okay, I think it's okay. So here we'll have an image and all of this stuff, so that's why let me take a div. Here we'll have let me add a comment. So this is actually left content, and we'll take another div and say this is left content, and then we'll have a comment right content and the div with right content. Okay, so I just define something like this, and back to the website you can see it's now here displaying. Okay, but after then here we'll apply some CSS that is actually class. We'll define by default flex call, then we'll have on medium devices flex row item center and gap 12. Okay, something like this. So here on, and I just select this and press Alt and click here to take multi-cursor and simply define that would be MW with half. Okay, so right now we can see your section is left section, right section, and it's perfectly doing better. And here actually we'll have to keep our image, so that's why we'll take a mg element, and here we'll define dot/images, and here we'll have features. Okay, and let me alt tag. Here we'll have feature image Okay, and now if you back to your website, you can see this image is okay. And now we'll just work with the right section. So for this right section here, we'll have to add something like this. What we will include, we'll have to include a h2 containing this text. So let me copy this text. We'll have to paste it. We'll define some classes here. That would be, we'll have text heading color, so heading text. Then we'll have now something like that. We'll have a text size that is 4 pixels. Then we'll have font bold, bold bold, and finally we'll have leading tight. Okay, so I think for now our design is okay. So after doing that, what next? Actually, after doing that, here we'll have a simple paragraph section. Let me copy it, and after this h2 we'll have a paragraph section, and here we can simply paste it here. And additionally, for this paragraph, actually we can just define class, and here our paragraph text will be, so primary text color, and here we will define leading relaxed. Okay, relaxed. Finally, I think it's perfect. It's perfect. We need some spacing, so that's why on this div we can say spacing y 8 or something like this. Okay, so right now you can see mass space is better. Then what next? Actually, here we can simply add some feature list, so that's why let me define features list. Okay, and then we will take a UL tag. Inside this UL tag we will have li. Then we can just define a div. Inside this div we'll have a image, so that is actually image. And let me download this image. We will have to download it, and let me preview. I forget to keep it there, so that's why at first let me check. Yes, it's downloaded. Now we will simply open Visual Studio Code, and from this here we'll drag this to the image folder, and we'll rename it something like this, green tick. Okay, something like this. Let me correct it a little bit, TICK. Perfect. Now here we'll have to define /images /green tick. So this is actually tick sign. Then after this, actually we'll have a span, so a span tag containing so some text. So that is actually powerful protection. Let me add it. So right now let's back to the website and see. It's perfect, but we need some styling here. We'll have to define, that would be actually flex. We'll have item center gap 3. Okay, and on this div, actually on this div we can simply say, I think it's okay. We don't need anything. We can just keep it going. We will have to copy some of it, so by pressing shift or down arrow, let me do some copy. So right now we'll have 4 copies. And if you need some spacing here on this UL tag, we can say spacing will be space y4. Now we can see perfect spacing here. Let me change the text from here. So we'll copy the second text, keep it paste here. Then let me copy the third text here, paste it here. Then copy the fourth text and keep it here. Right now this section is complete. You can see this section is complete, but we need to adjust some styling here. So for this, how you can just do this? So for this, actually here, look, after this menu we can just take a break. I hope it will work for now. And now you can see it's now 2 line, and we can just adjust this paragraph by applying some on medium devices. We can apply width, maybe we can have 2x3 for now, and let me check. Yes, it's 2 lined. Okay, now if you apply something like this here, justify between, then look, it's perfect for now. And if you just check it on small devices, look how is it looking, it's perfectly showing. I hope you can understand how it's working perfectly. So our feature section is done. Next we'll have to work with this pricing section. Okay, for this pricing section, how to proceed? Actually, we will close this featured section. Then let me take another comment. Here we'll say this is pricing section. Okay, fine. We'll have to take a section element, and then we'll have to apply the same classes that we define as a utility. So simply copy it, paste it inside it, and inside these actually let me audit it. At first you will have a heading, then a paragraph. So inside it actually we can take a section header. Let me add a comments. So section header, and here we'll have a simple div. We can simply say AS2. Then let me copy this section header. So choose your plan, something like this, paste it here. We'll have to apply some CSS, so class, and here the class will be text for Excel. Then we will have font bold, then we will have text gray 900, or we can just define, actually we'll have already defined heading text. Then we will have margin bottom MB4. Then we'll have font. Okay, I think it's okay for now. Next we'll have some paragraph. So let me define paragraph, and here we'll have to copy this paragraph section and paste it here. We'll apply some colors here. So the color will be text, primary text color. Okay, so after doing this, you can see our section is something like this. We'll have to move it to center position. So that's why let me define this div. We'll have some class name. We'll have to define text center, and we'll define margin bottom 16. Okay, fine, perfect for now. And if you go to this section is okay, but we need some background here. Look, this background is a little bit different. So that's why here on this section container we will apply some background that is actually busy. Here we can apply background color, so that would be busy gray 50 or something like this. Now it's a little bit background color. Let me refresh it. Look, this is a little bit background color, but I think this color should be the whole thing. So that's why here we don't have to specify it. We can just let me just delete it, and then here we'll have another div, and then we can simply cut this div and put inside it. Control V. So why it's actually not copying, let me cut it. So Control X, then Control V here. Okay, so let me format this for now. So I just format a little bit, format documents, and here actually we will have to define section container. Let me copy this to avoid the error. Okay, to avoid this error. Now you can see this is perfectly working. After doing that, we'll have to do this pricing section. So how we can go with it? So for doing this, here after this section header we'll define so pricing curves container. Okay, then we will simply define a div, and inside this div we'll have pre-plan. At first pre-plan, then here we can simply define class name. On the device we'll define that would be grid layout by default. On medium devices we'll define grid call by default 3. Then by default we'll have grid calls 1, and then we'll have max W6XL, we'll have MX auto, and finally we'll have some gap that is actually 8. Okay, gap 8. perfectly it's working. And for this free plan, we'll have, look, each plan has something. We'll have a background color, we'll have border, we'll have icons, subheading, then features, then free plan. Okay, so for doing this, actually here we'll have some add background. We'll class define the background will be white type, then we'll have some padding p8, we'll have rounded to excel, we'll have border 2. Okay, so border color will be border gray 200, something like this. Then we'll have flex, by default flex column. Then we'll define item center, item center. Finally on hover, actually we'll have border red 500, and then we'll have some transition. Then we'll apply duration 300. Then we'll have hover, and this hover will be obviously minus translate 5 or something like this. So let me check here. Look, if I hover, it's working something like this. Or if you don't do this, you can simply define scale a little bit. Scale will be 150. That means it will be something like you can just let me increase a little bit, that would be on 10. So now if you hover, looks something like this. Effect is applying here, so this is much better effect. And inside this div, actually we will have a img, and here we'll define dot forward slash images. Then we'll have surprise box, that is actually box image. Here we'll have gift box image. Now let me add some styling here. We'll have width 32, and on medium, on margin bottom we'll have 8. So after this image we'll have a h3, and here we'll have, say, free plan for now. And let me define classes. Here we'll have text to excel, then we'll have font bottom, sorry, soft font bold, and finally we'll have margin bottom 8. So right now let's see, it's perfect. So that would be plan, not pane. After doing this, we'll have feature list. So that's why here feature list, let me define a div here, or we can just keep it a UL tag. Inside this we can keep li. Okay, li. And for this feature, actually we'll have this type of icons. Okay, we'll have this type of icons. So for doing this, here we'll have img, and I just forget to download these icons. I'm sorry for that. I will provide it, no worries. We'll have to just export it. So this is right tick. Okay, let me copy this. We'll have to download it. Then we will simply drag this to your folder, to your image folder. So let me right tick, and here actually we can use dot forward slash images forward slash, sorry, right tick. And right now after this right tick, so you can see right tick is here, and we'll have a text that is actually a span. And let me keep the fast text, that is very simple, unlimited bandwidth. Let me copy it, paste it here. Okay, we can just have a little bit of styling. We can simply say that would be flex. We'll have item center, we'll have gap 2, and we can just simply define the image will be size 5 or something like this. Now if you check, I think this is perfect. But we need to add some styling to this UL, so we'll have to define a space y4. Then we'll have margin bottom 8, and we'll have flex grow. Okay, GROW, flex grow or something like this. I think right now it's perfect, but there's the padding is not working because we need to define a space. Okay, fine. Okay, after doing this, you can simply copy this UL tag a little bit. So we need maybe, sorry, we'll have to mark it shift alt down arrow. So I just copy for 4 times, maybe 4 times is big, okay for now. So this is on, let me copy it. So we'll paste it here. Then the third on traffic's logs, okay, third on traffic logs. Then we'll have works wall devices, okay, works wall devices. By doing these, actually you can complete your feature section, and after then you will have to include free and select option. Okay, so let me close this here. After doing that, what you will have to do, you will have to define so price button. Okay, here we'll have to define a div, and simply, sorry, our div will be after this comment. So here we'll have a button that is actually select, and above it we'll have a is free, or we'll have a div. We can just simply define that is actually free. Okay, so now here if you check, you can see something like this. We'll have to define class name text center for this, and right now it's perfect for now. Let's add some spacing, space y4. okay, and now add the styling to the button. We'll have class, we'll have border 2, we'll have border primary, then we'll have text color primary, then we'll have px16 py2, then we'll have rounded full. Okay, when we hover, we'll have red busy red 600. Then when hover, text will be white. Then we'll have transition will have duration 300. So now I think this is perfect. Look, this is perfect. So if you have this card, simply copy this card for twice. So we'll just copy it by pressing Ctrl C. Let me add the second one, that is actually standard standard plan, and paste it here. So right now we can see this is a standard plan. You can just customize the thing here. We'll have to just change this, and you can add some features by just copy pasting. So if you need to increase the feature, you can simply copy this L on and then paste it here, and then paste it here. So by doing this, actually you can increase the features by following OA. We'll have to change the text. Then let me add it here. Okay, I hope you can understand how you can increase the features. Okay, but I think this features one is okay for now. Okay, and this is actually a standard standard standard, and I think it's okay. You can see this is the standard plan. And next, if you need another one, you can simply copy the pricing. Sorry, so feature list, actually let me copy this one, and then let me add a comments. This is actually pro plan, and here we'll simply paste it. Let me change it. This is actually pro plan. So is it pro plan or something premium plan? Okay, so let me copy it. We can simply paste it here. So this is premium plan, and here we'll say premium, and I think it's okay for now. You can just customize based on your need. Look, it's absolutely working perfect. And if you check it on small devices, it will be responsive. You can see it's perfectly responsive. And finally, after doing that, we'll have to move to the network section. We'll have a something like this heading, then we'll have a map here, then we'll have some icons. Okay, so for making this network section, how you would like to implement it? Okay, so for doing this, let me go back to the Visual Studio Code. We'll close pricing section. Then here we'll have to take another comment that would be something like this. We can say, what you can say, so That would be global network section. Okay, something like this. Then we'll have a section. So section, then here we can just apply this CSS. So let me use it here. So class here will simply define this way. Simply what you will do here, we'll have section headers, we'll have same thing. So that's why you can copy it from the above. We'll have section header and keep it inside here. So we'll just change the naming. We'll have, let me copy this, we'll simply replace this. And if you need to change the text, you can simply copy this text and paste it here, okay, inside this paragraph. So right now if you go back, you can see this is your global network for fast VPN. And if you need it 2 lines, then you can add some width. So on medium devices, width will be, then I think it will just will have MX auto. Then we can simply say it will be 1/4 or something like this. Look, it's now 2 lines. So if you want to 2 lines, you can do this way. Next thing, we'll have to just integrate this map. So for doing this, after this heading section, here we'll have to define another thing how you can implement it. Here we'll have a div, and then we'll have a img. We'll have already the image, so you can simply define map.png, and here we'll have so map image. Okay, so next we'll apply some CSS to the div. Here we can simply define margin bottom 16, and finally we can apply CSS to the image, that is actually w full. Okay, now back to your website, you can see the image is there. Next thing, after this image we'll have this logo section, a sponsored logo section. So for doing this, after this section we'll have add a comment, sponsored sponsored logos. And then here we'll have a div. We can simply take some images. So img, here we'll have to define the first image dot forward slash images. Then we'll choose Netflix image. Then here let me add Walt, or you can just keep it for this, because I hope you understand you will have to add Walt. And we can add some CSS here. Let me define class name. Here we'll have height, so 12. Then we'll have grayscale. Then we'll have actually hover. We'll define grayscale actually 0. Then transition, and finally we'll have duration 300. And we can simply copy this image for 3 or 4 times. Okay, so I think 4 times is okay for now. Then the second one will be, let me edit it, it will be Reddit. Then third one will be for Amazon, so sorry, Amazon. Then fourth one will be for actually Discord, and fifth one will be for Spotify. Okay, so right now if you go to this section, you can see it's here. We'll have to add some flex here. So let me define flex. Then we'll define flex verb, and finally we'll have justify center. We'll have gap 12. Then we'll have opacity 75%. Okay, so 75%. Now if you go there, you can see this section is done. And if you check it on small devices, look, your logo container is something like this. Okay, if you increase the size, you will have something like this. Perfect. I hope it's totally perfect. Next thing is that we'll have to make this testimonial section, and here we'll have to work with Swiper.js to implement this type of functionality. Look, we'll have this type of functionality. We'll have this button. We can just look, if I refresh it, it will obviously work. Let me click here. Look, it's perfectly working. Then if you just click this left arrow, it's reduced to the first one. So by this way you can just swipe it. We'll make this section using Swiper.js, and obviously we'll have an idea how to use Swiper.js on actually a simple HTML JavaScript project. So let's go to the next video to implement this feature. Okay, for implementing this testimonial section, what you will have to do, let me go back to this Visual Studio Code. We'll close this and then we can simply take a section that is actually testimonial section, and here we'll have to take a section element and we'll have to define the class. The class will be the section container. I think it's perfect to use it here. And then here we'll have a section header, something like this. Look, we'll have this section header. That means we'll have it on previous section. So we can simply copy this section header from the above and just customize it a little bit, paste it here. Then our section header will be something like this. Let me copy this text and keep it inside it. Then we will have the text. Let me copy it and keep it here. Okay, so I'm sorry for that, I just copied unwantedly. Let me copy this and paste it inside this paragraph section. So after doing this, if you back to here, when see your section is something like this, we can just reduce the width of it. For example, here we can just simply say it will be 50%. So we'll have something like this. Let me refresh. Or if you just need this way, we can just simply say that would be 1/3 for now on medium devices. I think it's now 2 line. Okay, but then what you will have to do, our main focus is this section, actually this section. So for making this section, we'll have to use swiper slide. Okay, so here let me add a comment. After this div, we'll have a comment. The comment is actually testimonial slide. Okay, so for implementing this testimonial slide, let's search. So swiper is swiper.js and then go to the swiperjs.com. Here you can see you will have lots of options. You will have this type of slide. Then if you implement, then you can simply get started. So here is the example. If you need this type of thing, you can just do this. Okay, so let's click this get started, and if you want to install it, you will have npm options, but for now actually we will use CDN version because we are using it on our HTML file. Okay, so that's why let me copy this. We'll have to copy this to thing. Okay, and then go back to the index.html file. Here on this Tailwind CSS link, here we'll have to add a comment. Swiper is wi swiper chase connection connect dilam, and then we'll have to paste it here. So after doing this, I think it's fine. So swiper is connected now on your projects. How to use it, actually to use it, you will have to use this way. You will have swiper, then you will have additional sliding, then you will have navigation. Okay, so we can simply copy this and back to your code, and you can simply paste it here. So if you do this, look, if you go back to your website, you can see your sliding is added here, but you need to add some customization to work with properly. So that's why let's do customization. Here we'll just add some custom CSS that is actually testimonial swiper is wiper swiper. Okay, we'll have to include some CSS for this. So we'll go to input.css, and here we can apply some CSS for it. Here what we'll do, okay, we don't actually need this, we can just keep it this way. Okay, right now keep it this way. If need, we can apply some CSS here. After then, here inside this, actually we will do it dynamically. We will add slides dynamically from GS dynamically. Okay, and I think let's do that at first. So for doing this, actually what you will have to do, we'll have to go to src folder, then we'll create a new folder that is actually JS folder, and inside this we'll have app.js file. We can simply connect our app.js file at the bottom section. So here, so JS script is script, and we will connect our app. So let me call script src, and then we will have to connect // we'll have JS folder, then app. Okay, so we'll connect it by this way, and right now on this app.js file we can just implement testimonial. So for doing these, actually you need some array of images, you need some data. So where you will get the data? So the data you will find on the GitHub repository that I provide you in the link in the description. So here, if you go to the src folder, go to the javascript, you can simply copy this. So you can simply copy this, you don't have to think about it. We can simply copy this and paste it here. Okay, so if you do this, then your slider will be here, the designing is here, and everything is included. I just want to ignore it for now actually, so that's why I'm just doing this way. I'm sorry for that. And now here, actually if you go back to your projects, you can see your slider is here. It's actually perfectly working after copying it without doing anything. Let's customize a little bit. So for this customization, what you will have to do here, we'll have this pagination. Look, here is the pagination and here is the navigation button. We'll just modify it from here. So let me add some space. So for this, actually for this navigation arrow previous section, let me do this our own way. So we'll remove all of this, and here we'll take a div. We can just add a comment. So here our comment will be, let me add a comment, navigation arrows. Okay, we'll have to custom navigation controls is okay for now, controls controls. And inside these, actually let me define some css here. We'll have to define that is flex. We'll have justify center, justify between is okay, item center, then we'll have margin top 12. Okay, and inside it, actually we'll have pagination dots, and here we'll have a div and simply add class name. The class name will be we'll have swiper pagination, SWIPER, swiper pagination, something like this. If you just have mistake, you can check it here. So swiper pagination, just copy this. Okay, and back to here, and let me replace it here. So it's fine. After this, we'll have navigation arrows. Okay, and then inside these, actually we'll take a div, and inside this div we'll keep our navigation. But before that, let me add css. Here we'll have flex, we'll have on small devices, we'll have flex, then we'll make it important, so that's why exclamatory sign. Then on the large devices, we'll make it important flex. Okay, then on Excel devices, we'll have important flex, and by default gap will be 4. And inside it, actually we'll have a div, and this div include a image. So image will be dot forward slash, here we'll go inside image, then we'll have arrow left. Okay, and here on this image we'll have some css. Let me define class that would be height 6 width 6. Okay, so here on this div we'll have to include css, that is actually preview button, that would be preview button. So let me copy this css from here and we'll remove it. We'll actually paste it here, then we'll define that is actually static. So static, here we'll have to say we'll define width. So at not means actually important, we'll have to define 60 pixel. Then we'll have to define not height, so here that would be 60 pixel also. Then we'll have flex, item center, then justify center, then we'll have rounded full, then we'll have border 2, we'll have border color. So border will be, we'll add some custom color. We'll have hash F53855, something like this. Then finally what you will have some text color. So let me define text, so that would be will have the same color. We can just simply copy this, and paste it here. Let me fix it here. We'll have to close it, and let me remove this one, so it's actually extra. After doing that, what you will have to do, we'll have hover, we'll have busy red 200, and then on hover actually we'll have text red or text primary color, something like this. Okay, so let's check it. So I think the first one is okay, so we'll have to hide this icon, but our icon is now better. So if I refresh, you can see we have to remove this icon at least. Okay, but I think right now something like okay. Okay, so for this customization, let's add some CSS here. So for this CSS, what you will have to do, you will have swiper blade point. We'll have to define dot swiper swi per swiper pagination, then we'll have blade, then we'll apply some CSS here. We're just using custom CSS. Here we'll have width 15 pixel, then we'll have height 15 pixel, we'll have background color. So background color, that would be E4, okay, something like this. Then we'll have opacity 1, then we'll have actually margin 0.5 pixel and important. Okay, so now after doing this, when it's active, we'll have dot swiper pagination bullet dash active, and here we'll simply define it will be background color busy primary. We can just simply define border radius, and we can just add some transition. Okay, so by doing this, I think it's now okay. If you click, so by default it's not moving, but here we'll have to remove this. Actually, why this is coming, so let me inspect it a little bit and try to see from where actually this arrow is coming. Okay, this arrow is coming from, actually look, this is the after, and here we'll have by default content. Okay, so we'll have to remove that. So from where you will have to remove that, look, we'll have, let me refresh it, we'll have this after. So here we'll have to copy this, and let's add some CSS here. We'll have content, we'll have to include empty here. So right now if you do this, if you refresh, so we'll have, why not moving, let me try it. We'll have remove content, let me define it's important. Okay, now perfect, it has gone. So right now after doing this, actually we need to include it. Let me back to here, we'll have another div here for the right section. So let's do this. We'll have to copy this and keep it here after this, and we'll define the image will be right now, that is actually arrow right. Okay, now if you check, we'll have something like this. We need to change the color a little bit. Here we'll have background by default. So where is actually background color, we'll apply. So background color will be red type color, so busy primary color. Okay, so now if you do this, you can see it's perfect. Now we need some spacing to this, so that's why we'll have this will be gap actually. So gap 4. Now we can see mass better for now, but there are some dots. Let me check where's from the dot coming. Maybe the dot is coming here, some dot. We will remove this dot actually. So right now I think this is perfect, but we need to move it to the right section. So for moving it to the right section, how to do it? Here actually we'll have to just say we'll have to move it to the right section. So for doing this, here on this pagination, let me define it will be not relative then we'll have simply define bottom 0. Here we include not bottom 0, and simply let me correct it, bottom 0, and then simply we'll have not w auto. Okay, so if you right now you can see it's perfectly working perfectly. Okay, though this is not moving. Okay, so it's perfect, but if I just click here, it's not moving, so we'll have to just adjust a little bit. I got these issues. The issues is that we'll have the next button here, so that's why from here let me copy this. We'll have the next button to the second one. We just define it preview, so that's why it's actually not working. I hope right now it will work perfectly. So here we'll have click it, look, it's working perfectly. We'll have to remove these also. So let me inspect it and try to check what's actually doing this. Actually we'll have these sections, and if you just go inside here, we'll have after, so we'll have this. So let me copy this also, and then we'll have to apply it here. So let me copy paste it here. So right now I think so this is gone, so it's perfectly now working. Okay, so you can see how beautiful this is right now, so perfectly working for it. And if I inspect, you can see on the small device you will see something like this. If you increase the size, it will just see 2 cipher per page and 3 cipher per page. So that's why we can say it's perfectly working. Next thing what you will have to do after doing this section, we will have to just complete this subscribe section, then the footer section, then we will end this, but not the end. Actually we have to apply our sub animation by using AWS. Okay, AOS. For the subscribe section, let me back to the code, and here we'll have to close this section, and then we'll simply do a comment that is actually subscribe SUBSCRI subscribe section, and here we'll have a section. Then we'll have to apply the same thing. We'll have to apply classes here. We'll have to copy this and simply keep it here, and inside it actually we'll have a div. We'll define some background color. So let me define class. We'll have busy white color, then we'll have rounded excel, then we'll have shadow LG, then we'll have on large devices we'll have padding 16, on medium devices padding 12, and by default padding will be 8. Okay, so next we'll have hover shadow to excel, then we'll have transition wall, then we'll have duration 500. Okay, so something like this, and inside this div actually we'll have another div, and we'll simply make it, we'll have class, and that is actually by default flex. We'll have flex call, flex row, then we will have to work with, we'll have justify between, then we'll have item center and gap 8. Okay, after doing that, what you will have to say, you will have to define a comment that is actually left content, and now here we'll define a div and say h2. We'll define something like this. Let me copy it, subscribe for new features, and here we'll have a break. Here we can simply, after doing this, we'll have a p and simply say let's subscribe for fun. We'll simply paste it here. We'll have some customization. Let me add on large devices text will be 4XL, then on medium devices text will be 3XL, and by default text will be 2XL, and then we'll have font bold. So this is not black, BOLD, bold. Then we'll have text heading text. Okay, finally we'll have margin bottom 5, and for the paragraph actually we'll have paragraph color, so that is actually text primary text. Okay, and after then we'll have to take another div for this right content. Okay, and here we'll have a div, and we can simply say a button. The button is SUBSCRIB subscribe now. Okay, and we'll design this button. By doing this, we'll have a busy primary color. Busy primary color text will be white color. We'll have hover. We'll have busy rate 600 for now. Then we'll have on large devices px will be 16. On medium devices we'll have px 12. We'll have on medium devices py 3. Then on large devices py 4, and then finally we'll have px 8, py 2. Then we'll have rounded xl. Then we'll have actually hover. We'll have opacity 90%. Okay, then transition all, and duration 300, something like this. So right now if you check your website and see, this section is perfect for now. Okay, so if you do something like this section is okay. And finally we'll have to work with the footer section. So this is our footer section. We'll have to make this type of footer section in the next video. For making the footer section, here let me add a comment. So this is footer section. Okay, we'll have to call footer tag, and then here we'll have class name. We'll define busy. So we'll have some background color. We can simply define busy, that would be hash. We can simply define f8 type colors. Then we will have here, we don't need this, we'll just take a div. We'll have a section container inside this div. So let me define class, and here we'll apply section container, and then we will take a div, and this div will just contain, we'll have class, we'll have grade. Then we'll have by default grade calls 1. On medium devices we'll have grade calls 2. Okay, and on large devices we'll have grade calls 4. Okay, and gap actually by default gap will be 12, something like this. Okay, after doing that, here actually we'll have branch column, and here we'll have a div, and then inside this div we'll have a image, and the image will be logo. So image, then logo. Finally we'll have a span, and we'll define lastless vpn. Okay, we can simply say this will be simply on large it will be, so call span 1. Then on this div actually we can say it's actually flex. Then we'll have item center. Then we'll have gap 2 and margin bottom 5. Okay, and for this span actually let me define class name. We'll have text excel. Then we'll have font bold. Okay, and finally here on this image we'll simply define height will be 8. So perfect. After doing this we'll have a paragraph. So let me define a paragraph. Let me copy this text. We'll have to copy it and let me paste it here. So we can simply define class here, that would be, we'll have text primary text color. Then we'll have simply define margin bottom 8. Finally after this paragraph we'll have a div for social media icons, and here we'll have some anchors. We'll anchor tag. Then we can simply define image inside it, so img, and simply say our image will be /images, at first image is actually Facebook. Okay, and let me add some styling here to this anchor. We'll have padding 2. We'll have rounded full. Then we'll have busy rate 500, something like this. We'll have shadow md. Then we'll have when hover, we'll have shadow lg. Then transition wall. Then we'll have when hover, we'll have minus translate y1 Then finally duration 300 will have something like this. Now if you go back to your website, here you can see something like this, but it is actually not appropriate. So how we can fix it? So to fix it, actually here on this image, let me define classes. Here we'll define size will be 4. So now let me check it. Now it's still not perfect. We'll have to just fix something here. We can just simply take a div. Let me cut it, Ctrl X to cut it. Let me take a div and keep it inside here. And for this div, let me define that is flex and gap, actually gap 4. Okay, so I think now this is working perfectly. Then we'll have to copy this for 3 times. Sorry, we'll have to copy this. So shift all down arrow, and the second one for P will be actually for Twitter. Then third one for will be actually Instagram. Now if you check, you can see all of this is here. We can simply take the final on and simply apply flex and gap 4. Okay, this section is perfect. Now we'll have this text, so we'll copy this text, and after this div, so after this div we'll have a paragraph and simply paste it here. We'll define that would be 25 red latest lessons variant, and we can simply define the class will be text, primary text. Then we will define margin top 8, something like this. So if you do this, now I think this section is perfect for now. And now we'll move to this section. We'll have to do this section, all of this section. Okay, this div, inside this div, after this div we'll have to just add a comment. So this is actually product column, column, and here what you will have to do, you will have a div. Let me define a div. Inside this div we'll have a h3. So this is actually product, and then we'll have a ul, then we will have li, then we will have anchor. Okay, something like this. So we'll design this h3, that would be font medium, then we'll have text lg, then we'll have actually margin bottom 6. Then inside this li, actually we'll just say this is actually download. Here we'll have / we can simply say we can just define hash here, no worries. We can apply some css. We'll have simply define hover text primary color. Okay, then we will have to copy this. So shift all down arrow for times, and here this is actually for pricing. Then the third one is for locations. The fourth one will be for servers. Okay, and if you need more, you can just copy it and simply say that is actually blogs. Okay, I just doing something like this, and here on this eval we can simply define space y, that is actually 4, and then we'll have text primary text. Okay, now if you back to your website and see, this section is perfect, and we will just make this some of the copy. So let me, after just copy it, then we'll have another comment. This is actually engage, engage column, column, and paste it here. We can simply change the heading, so that is actually in engage, and you can just edit this. I don't have much time to do that for now. You just do this or just check the source code, and finally we will have to just copy this again and simply let me define add a comment. So this is actually earn money, and here we'll simply paste it and say earn money, and we can just reduce some of the list item. So if you now do this, you can see your section is perfect right now. We'll have all of this stuff. That means our website is almost complete. So now we'll have to work with navigation. So when just click, it will just move to the specific section. So for doing this, it's very simple. So let me close this. Here look, inside this header we'll have so navigations, and you can see at first we'll have home. So when someone click here, we would like to present this hero section. So that's why here on this, after this actually class name, we can simply, or before this, we can just simply add id and simply define home here. So exclude the titles, and if you go there and if you click here, look, it's redirecting to the first section, and you must need to just fix the navbar. So that's why how you can just do this. So to fix the navbar here on this header section, you can simply define class, and here we can just define busy white color, then we can just define shadow md, and we can just define it's fixed, then we'll have top 0, then left 0, right 0 and z index 50. Okay, so right now if you do this, now you can see the, if you click, look, it's loading. And for the features, actually if you click, look, it's feature, we will copy this and go feature section. Where is our feature section? So this is feature section, we will add id here, so features, and then look, if I click features is loading. If I click pricing, we'll have to move to the pricing section. So that's why here, where is pricing, we'll add pricing id here, then we'll have testimonial. Let me copy it from the top, and where is testimonial, this is testimonial, and finally this is actually subscribe. So click here, look, this is subscribe. Okay, so here we'll have to add id subscribe, but the thing is that if you click, it's working, but it's not smooth. So how to make it smooth? So to make it smooth, go back to input.css. Here you can simply apply html and simply define scroll behavior, that would be smooth. And so for defining the body font, you can simply define here, add class name and define. So font, we can just simply define primary font. That means our font will apply the whole website. So I think this will work. I'm sorry for that. We'll just click about, now features, now click this pricing section, testimonial section, help section. Okay, so perfectly working. We can just adjust a little bit here. We'll have something like that. We can just make it 28 for now. I think if you click pricing, now it's more perfect. Okay, look, it's a smooth feature, you are getting all of this smooth feature. So after doing this, hot next, actually we'll have to apply animation. We will just explore animation, how to apply animation and make your website something like this, more animated. So for example, if I click here and if I refresh, look, the animation is working perfectly. We'll have to implement this type of animation in the next video. Applying animation, let me close all of this stuff. We'll just explore another amazing tools, that is actually AOS Animation. Search it, and then you will see, you will have the GitHub. Visually you can see you will have a scroll animation, you will have fade animation. So simply you will have to define data -os and then the animation type. Okay, so if you do this, look, this type of animation will working perfectly. So how to implement it? Look, here we will have a GitHub icon. Click here, then it will redirect to the GitHub, and to use it you will have to include this in your head section. So go to this and go to the HTML section. Here we'll add a comments. For example, let me add a comment, that is actually AOS animation. Okay, here we'll simply paste it. And now the second thing is that you will have to add this script to the bottom section of the body. Okay, so that's why we'll go to the body, and here we'll simply include this line, and we'll have to do a little bit customization here. So what customization? We can just simply define inside this init, we'll provide an object. We can say duration, and our duration will be 1000, and then we will add a comma and we will define once, and once will be true. Okay, so true. Fine. So after doing this, now how to apply animation actually. So to apply animation, let's do it. So for doing this, here for example, you want to start with the hero section. So where is your hero section? So this is your hero section, and here to how to add animation. To add animation, you will have to simply, for example, you want to open this, and on the left actually you will add animation. So from the documentation you can see you will have to use this way. So look, you will have to data OS and fade in. You will have to simply copy this, and if you back to here and include this, for example, include it here. And now if you refresh, if you now refresh your website, look, this animation is working. But we don't need this actually, we need some cool animation. So that's why here we'll define fade right. Okay, so we'll define fade right. Look, if I refresh now, it's fade right. And then for this image actually, we'll just define. So same way we will have to copy this and keep it here for this image, and simply define it's actually left. So after doing this, look how simple the animation is. Very simple. You just include the link, then just add this script at the bottom, and simply just add by this way data dash AOS, and your animation is styling. Okay, so for this static sections, let me add a little bit here for this div actually. For this div actually, let me add it. So we'll define something up animation. So for this, look, if you just scroll, it's up now. Then for this section, let me try to do it. You will have to go to feature section. Here you will have to include animation to the left section. Here we can simply define, here we'll have left, then we'll define that would be right. Okay, so now you can see if I refresh, the first section is applying. If I scroll, it's applying, then it's working. So by this way you will complete all of this stuff. It's up to you how we can just do it. I just show the proceed. You will have to simply copy this and just go to a section. For example, you want to include it for pricing section, just for this div. If you want to include it for this div, let me define up. Okay, if you define up, so it will be work. Look, if I just refresh, the first one is appearing, and let me refresh. Look, it's working. So if it's working, you can just do the same for the others. Let me paste it here, and for floor plan we'll also paste it here. That means our pricing section is working. Look how it's working perfectly. So by doing this way, you can just make your animation. But now I will show you how to actually deploy this project. Okay, so this is the last topic, how you can just deploy this project and show your client. Okay, for deploying this application, I would like to deploy it on Vercel. So that's why how you will have to proceed it. For example, you need to go to the GitHub. So let me go my read GitHub, and from this repository I will provide the link in the description, so you can directly go there. And here actually you need to copy this vercel.json file. You will have to create this file at the root. So we'll just create this file at the root, vercel.json, and simply paste this code here. We'll have to copy it and simply paste it here. Then we just include a .git ignore file, ignore file, and here let me define node modules, node underscore modules, and okay, I think it's okay for now. Then what you will have to do, you will have to go to the package.json file and just simply include all of these stuff. You will have to include this build and watch functionality here, and simply go to the package.json file. After this start, just comma, define all of this line. So after doing this, you are ready to just push your code to Vercel, to GitHub. So at first you will have to just go to your GitHub account, then simply click this create repository and click here. Here you will have to simply define a project repository name, for example Tailwind CSS project. Okay, I just define something like this, and let me define the alias alias VPN. Okay, I just define it by this way. Then we'll just click this creating repository, and simply we'll have to command all of this stuff. So I will copy the first one, go back terminal and open the terminal again. We will need to take another terminal, so click this plus icon, simply paste this first line, then we'll have to copy this second line, then we'll have to paste it. Then from the third line, actually we'll only copy git add and back to the Visual Studio Code. Here we'll have to add additionally a dot. That means we're going to push everything, so we'll just click here. Next we'll simply copy the fourth command from here, copy it and paste it here. Let me press enter. So after doing this, if you refresh, your project is here on your git repository. And right now go to the Vercel. Here if you don't have an account, you will have to create an account. So vercel.com. If you don't have account, you will have to create an account. I have already an account, so that's why it's showing here. We'll simply click this new, then project, and then here we'll choose the project right on that I just push on GitHub. Let me import it. Here we don't have to do anything. We will have to change your project name if you want. Otherwise you can simply go to build options, and here we'll simply define it will be src. Okay, src, and we don't need to do anything here. And if you just click this deploy, then it's starting deploying. Okay, so it's deploying. Wait until it's complete. Okay, perfect. Look, our website is ready. And if I just click this continue dashboard, and then you will get the domain, open it, and now look, it's working perfectly. You will have the animated website you need. So I hope you understand how it's working. And look, it's actually your pagination is also working. If you click, look, the scroll animation is working perfectly. Everything is fine. If you check it on small devices, you will have the options. Look, it's perfectly working on small devices. So thank you for this, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a comment, obviously, so that I can just feel inspiration and make another tutorial for you.